Hi and welcome to yet another Facemaker video tutorial. I am Nuno and today I'll be creating a watch face for Garmin with animations. Yes, animations have been implemented and they work, I think they work great. Although there are some caveats. I mean, Garmin wasn't created for animations, or rather Garmin watches don't really handle animations very well. But I did what I could to make it possible. And yeah, let me show you here. So basically you have animations now available on the background main container, and you can also have it on the widget animation and then frame by frame. As usual, as for the other brands, you can simply load an animation from your hard drive. You can use MP4, MKV, animated GIF, WebP, and many other formats like AVI. But just to show you how it works, I'm going to show you here. I'm going to press play. So right now it's moving very slow. I'm going to go with 100 or maybe less. Oh, by the way, the minimum frame delay you can use is 50. You can't go lower than 50 because this is the limit of the technique I'm using for animations, which is a timer. So, and you can have, usually you can have more than 3 timers at a time. So there's a limit of 3 animations per watch face, but you can circumvent this. So if I had, right now we have 3 frame by frames. If I try to have one more, Facemaker won't let you, okay? But there's a way to circumvent this rule by using containers. As you know, containers in Facemaker are watch face options. So since only one of these will be shown at a time, you can have several animations inside one single container, and only one will count. So keep that in mind. And today, as you can see here, I loaded a, I think it's Ken animation from Street Fighter. And today we'll be creating a Street Fighter watch face. So let me show you what we'll be creating. It's this. As you can see here, we have several animations, but since only 3 show when you press play, you can have more. So let me show you here. We have the fight animation, and then we have here on the left fighter and the right fighter, we can load Ryu or Ken, and on this one we can load Zangief or Blanca. Okay, so yeah, I'll be showing how to create this, and I hope you like it. So let's start. I'm gonna press new, and here I'm gonna call this Street Fighter Garmin. There we go, and submit, and now we're ready to start. So for the background, I'm gonna have to search for Street Fighter, Street Fighter backdrop. And let's switch to images, and I believe I used this one here. So I'm going to copy it, copy image, and here I'm going to add an image, and then over this field I will press Control V, and there we go. We have the image imported, but it's huge. Okay, we have to resize this. So I'm going to go with the 380. This might still be too much, and I believe it is. So let's try 350. Oh, and by the way, right now Facemaker is limiting the movement of the widget because it's trying to keep the widget inside the canvas. And you can disable this behavior by going into Edit, Preferences, and here on the interface you can switch off Contain Widgets. And this way we can do whatever we want. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in the center, and I believe this is good enough. 350. Okay, but as you can see here, the image is going outside the canvas, and we can't have this. We need to crop it, so I'm gonna crop the canvas first, and then I will do the sphere, or rather not. If you notice here, the image is not filling the canvas completely, and we need to fix this. So now I'm going to add an image and press generate, and I need to pick this color here, right there, and pick it again, and this one will make it slightly darker, something like that. Okay, and this is done. Now I'm going to put this on 0 on the y coordinate and on the x coordinate. I'll make it let's see, 454, and then all we need to do is just make it tall enough just so we can see this gap on the top. And let me just lock it so we can see better this gap here. And 52, let's go, yeah, 53. Okay, and now this is filled, as you can see here. So this is done. Now we need something for the bottom, and you can see here that this has some sort of wood texture, and I would like to replicate that. So I'm gonna add an image right there, and I'm gonna put it on the left, 0, and press generate. Now I'm gonna push it down, and I think I will use this thing here. Now let me see, let me just lock it so we can see better. Oops, no, I don't want to rotate it. I want to bring it upwards. Something like that. Okay, now I'll make it as wide as the, yeah. And I believe this will work. Okay, so now we have this, and I am going to change this. So we need to make it look like wood. So I'm going to search for wood planks. There we go. Now we have several we can choose from. Perhaps this one here will do the trick. And yes, I think I'm gonna use it. Now let me see here. Yeah, let's go with this one. So I'm gonna save it. So save image as, and I will put it not here, but here, wooden plank wall. Okay, so save, and this is done. So for this image here, I want to replace this gray color with the plank, the wood plank texture. And the way to do that is by using a fill texture effect. Gonna choose it, and then load from, or rather open. And we can go here to the place where we saved it, this one here, and immediately you see that we have wood. But this is too large right now, so I'm gonna make it smaller. So let's say 300, or rather 250. And yeah, I think this will work. Let's go with 200. Well, okay. But right now, as you can see, this is very light. We need to make it darker. So I'm gonna add a brightness effect and lower the brightness. And then a contrast. There we go. And increase the contrast just a little bit. And I don't really think that we're matching the color. Yeah, it needs to be just a tad more red. So something like this. I might just increase the brightness just a little bit. And you know, this is just, you have to tweak until you achieve something that will work. And yeah, while not perfect, I think the texture is not perfect for this. As you can see here, the veins and all that, it's different. So let me just increase this a little bit. And yes, we'll have to go with this. So I'll call it done. So yeah, this is done. Okay, so now we can merge all these three images. So add, and then we will crop the canvas and finally the sphere. And we have our backdrop, okay? So now that this is done, I'm gonna start adding animations. So as I've told you, if we use the container, we can have several animations, any number of animations we want. So here I'm gonna add an animation container, or rather two, okay? And I'll call this Ryu. And this one will be Ken, okay? Now let's load Ken, frame by frame. And we have animations, ready-made animations here on the library for Ken and Ryu. So Ken is here. And as you can see, we can just simply load it and resize it. Oops, sorry. I picked up the container and I'm gonna lock it. Otherwise I can't work while picking other stuff. So let's make it just a tad larger. And we need to account for the size of the other characters. So here we'll have the villains and here the heroes. And I think this size will fit the purpose. Let me just press preview and let's lower. Yeah, we need to go with 50. There we go. Okay, this is good. So now I'm gonna pause it and load another frame by frame. Let's go into the library, and this time it will be Ryu. This one here, okay? Now I'm gonna try and match the size of this one. So it's 92. So here we'll insert 92 and we'll try to put it in the same place. So 279, 173. 279, 173. And there we go. Now if I press play here, oh, I need to tweak the frame delay. So there we go. 50 is good. And if we want, we can check 10 too. Right here. Okay. So yeah. So this is done. And I'm going to call this option here. I'll call it right fighter, which is the fighter on the right. So now I'm going to add another container and then two animations. So these will be the villains. And I thought about including others, but the ones that I found on the internet were Blanca, animated GIF. And I believe it's this one. And indeed it is. So I'm going to save it. Save image as. And save it here. And this is a GIF, by the way. Blanca, and the other one is a Zangief. And there we go. Now, let me see if I can find that specific animation. It's this one, I think. Yeah, it's this one. Now, this one is going to need a lot of tweaking because this has a lot of frames, and we can't use such an heavy animation for Garmin, so we have to tweak it. Here I will call this one Zangief, and this one will be Blanca. And we're going to, try to optimize the Zangief animation, and you'll see how I'll do it in just a minute. Okay, so to start with, this is 120, and this is too much. First, we need to crop the content. And this is taking a while because, yeah, it's 120. Then I will do, let me see here, I will do a optimize animation. So what this will do is remove every other frame, and this will reduce the number of frames to half. Okay, so now we have 60 frames. Okay, now I don't want this movement where he has his hand on the neck, so I'm going to remove all these frames. So from here, and by pressing Shift, I'll press the first one, and all of them are selected now, and then I will remove, so delete. There we go, and then I'll submit. So now we have 37. Let me see how it looks. Oh, this is moving very slowly. So let's go with 80. Yeah, we need to remove some more. Now, let me see. We need to try and make it look seamless, okay? So this one here has to go, so I'll remove it, delete. So he starts with his hand here. Let me see the final one. I think this might look correct now. Yeah, not quite. We need to tweak it further. Okay, so let's open this, and so I see he starts by moving this hand downwards. So let me see here. Yeah, it's not looking seamless. So we have to fix this somehow. I think I will remove these here. So delete and submit and press play. Yeah, much better now. And now we have 31 frames, which it's still a little bit on the heavy side, but I'll take it. Okay, so now I'm going to resize it. And right now we can see none of these because here on this container, we didn't select a default one. So I'm going to go with Ken. Okay, and now we can go back into Zangief and make it larger. So if I recall correctly, Zangief was larger than the other fighters. So I think something like this will work. Okay, so let me just press play. And yes, I think it works wonderfully. Okay, so now we need an animation for Blanca. So let's search for Blanca animated GIF. And I believe it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. Okay, so save image as. Oh, we had it already. Okay. My memory isn't what it used to be. Definitely. Okay, so here. And we need to make it larger, of course. So let's increase it just a little bit. And now move it just a tad to the right. Something like that. And let's preview. And yes, it needs to move faster. Let's go with 100. And yeah, I think this will work. So here I will select Blanca to be the default one right there. And by the way, we need to optimize this. So I'm going to apply the scaling and then crop to content. There we go. And it's done. Now we have two containers that you can select which one you want. So here I'm going to call this option left, or rather not. Let's call this villains. Villains. And here I'll call it heroes. And let's try this and see how it behaves on the watch. So here the default is Blanca and here the default is Ken. So let's start up the simulator and see how it behaves. Now remember, this will be different from watch to watch. So what you see here on the simulator, it might not be as fluid as you see. Right now, you can see that Blanca is, is going very fast. Yeah, so I have to fix that. And now I will trigger the app settings. And here I will go into the menu. And now we have heroes and villains to select from. So I'll go into the villains and I'll select Zangief. Now back, and there we go. And yes, they are moving quite fast. So I'm not quite sure, but we can tweak it. As I said, this will be different on the watch. So you have to account for that and do the necessary tweaks, okay? Now let's change this one on the right. So let's trigger the app settings and press menu. And here on the heroes, I will go with Ryu now. Back, and there we go, okay? So, yeah, I think this looks great. I'm gonna close the simulator for now because we still need to create a lot of stuff. So, in the game, you normally have a status bar for each one of them. I'm going to use that status bar to display other stuff like heart rate, steps, and things like that. Okay, so I also remember that here in the center there's the time. So I'm going to start creating all those images. So here I'll press generate and I'll select a black color. Yeah, it's black. Okay, now let's resize it. And by the way, let's lock all the layers and unlock this one. This way we can work much better. Okay, so let's put it more or less here. And this is done. So I'm going to apply the scaling. And here I'm going to add a rounded corners effect. And let's go with 40 perhaps. Yeah, let's go with 50. Yeah, 50 for all the corners, okay? You can have independent values for each corner. And there we go, this is done. Now I'm gonna add a border right there. And I'm gonna make it 2, and let's go with a white color. Or rather not, I'm sorry. Because I need to make this slightly transparent. So I'm gonna add a transparency. No, opacity, I'm sorry. Opacity, and there we go. And now we will make this transparent. Just a little bit. And now I am going to duplicate this one and remove that opacity effect. And then I will add an outline. There we go. Now we have the transparent one, this one here, and this one is just a border. Because I couldn't apply a border directly to this one because this one is transparent, and the border doesn't really work well with transparent images, okay? So I'll make this white. There we go. And make it 2 pixels. And perhaps go with the mode 2. No, mode 1 is just fine. Okay, this is done. Now we can simply merge these two, and we have that image we needed, okay? So now we need that status bar here. So let's create one image, press generate, and I might go, let's say, with 80. No, way too much. Okay, 20. And yes, I think this will work. Okay. Now let's make it smaller, because I want to have an icon here showing that this is heart rate or steps or battery or whatever. Okay, so here I'm going to change this color into yeah, I think I want to make it red like this. I'll head it to the favorites right there. And now that this is done, I think I can make it just a tad larger. And then I will apply a rounded corners. There we go. And now I will increase this all the way to 50. And yes, I think we have a winner. Okay. Now let me just see here. Perhaps I can make this larger, just a tad. Something like that. And okay, this is done. So now I am going to clone it, unlock this one, and put it here. Now, I'll try and make this similar, more or less, on the left. So let's see. Yeah, one more. There we go. We have the status bar, and this will allow us to have several widgets here that we can change, select on the watch preferences. So here I'm going to add a new container, and then I will call this one left option, and it will be located here. Okay, like this. Okay, now let's resize it and zoom in, and yes, it looks perfect. Okay, so now inside I'm going to add several things. So for example, we can add heart rate, and then I will add, we could add a line. The problem is we can't make the line have rounded corners. So for that, we'll need an image set, this one here. And then I'll press generate and use line, horizontal, and I believe it was 20. And yes, it is 20. Okay, so I'm going to try and put it in the right place, right there. And now let's tweak the width. So, and remember, whenever you're generating images, this is where you change the width and height, okay? Not up here, because here you're scaling. You're not defining the width and height, the real width and height of the images you're generating, okay? And I'm saying this because many users have difficulty grasping this concept. Okay, so this is done. We will go with 11 images, and this is going to be yellow. So we'll select like this, and then select this one and press enter. And now we have the same value on both. And this might be too yellow, I'm not sure. But yeah, I think this will work. Okay, so now this is done. The problem is this image set, this line, is growing from the left to the right. So let me show you here. We need it to grow from the right to the left, okay? But first, I'm going to apply a rounded corners right there. And immediately we have a good result. So, I'm sorry. So I'm gonna start adding the right options. So here I will first select the default one, and we only have one, the heart rate, but I'll show you why I'm doing this. So let's define this one. So the size is 163 by 21. So 163 by 21. Let's put it here. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, this is too tight, but I don't really care. This should work, and it's not important, really. Let me see here. So 108, and then increase the height. Well, this is weird. This should be good. So 22, and this one. Yeah, this is good. Okay. So now the width is 163 and 163. So this is done now, and here I'm going to add, let me see here, battery. Okay, and inside the battery I will add an image set, and now I want to copy this image set here. So in order to know which one it is, I'm going to give it a name, HR image set, and here I am going into the copy from and select the HR image set, and now you can see that we have the images here. They were copied from the other. So let me try and place this correctly, and there we go. Now we need to invert this one, and this is why I created this one first, because we had this one already growing from the left to the right, which is what we needed for this one here. And now I can invert this. Okay, so here we'll select this one, and we want to make it grow from here to here. And for that, I'm going to apply a flip horizontal. And there we go. Now the Facemaker has inverted the images, and they now grow from the right to the left. Okay, so now we need to start adding icons. So here I'm going to add an image, and we have several images we can use here on the library, and I'll go into the stencil section and select this heart image, And now I will scale it, but first let's crop the content just to optimize it. And we will resize, and let me just lock the layers, otherwise we're gonna start picking other stuff. So here, unlock, and let's resize this. Now it should be large enough, just so you know what this is, because sometimes it looks good here on the design level, but when you install on the watch you can't see anything. Usually it's too small. Okay, so here this is done. I'm going to apply the scaling, and then I will select a fill color effect. There we go, and we will pick this red color. This is way too dark, so I'm gonna pick this one and add it to the palette. And this is done. Now I need to do the same here for the battery. So I'm gonna add an image, going to the library, and load one image that represents energy or battery. Let's go with this one. And I will crop the content. And let me just see the size of this image here. It's 29 by 27. So 29. And then I can apply the fill color and put it here. And now we know that this one here is battery and this one here is heart rate. How great is that? So, okay, let's try and fix, just tweak a little bit, the icon location right there and right there. So now we have one option on each of these containers. And this is fine and dandy, but I shouldn't have just one. We need at least two inside each container. And by the way, let's rename this to right option. And there we go. Now let's add one more on each one of them. So here I will go with, let's say, steps. And then I will add an image set. And then I just have to copy from a jar image set. How great is that? So now we can simply copy the location from this one. So this one is located on 72 by 110. 72, 110. And there we go. And now we need an image that represents steps. And let's see here, this one. Yeah, this one will do just nicely. Okay, so 29 by 27, and here I am going to first crop the content and then resize this to 29. Okay, and then we can apply a fill color and just try to place it more or less on the same spot. And this will do. We can't really see that those are steps, but it will have to do, okay? At least for now. So now here I'm gonna add on the right side, I am going to add, let me see here, perhaps stress, yeah, and image set. And now we can just simply copy the images from this one. So battery image set. It's renamed, and now we can just copy it from here. And there we go. Now I need to put it in the same spot. So this one is located on 258.109. 258.109. And there we go. It's located in the same spot, and now I need an image that represents stress. But I don't think I have one that suits this nicely. So I'm going to search for smile icon. And this one should do nicely. Okay. And it's transparent, so I'm going to copy it. So copy image. And then here I will paste it. And this will look huge, yeah. So I'm going to crop the content and resize it to 28. If I recall correctly, it was 29. Yeah, it's 29. So let's go back into this one and make it 29. And now I need to apply a fill color. And there we go. This is done. And you know, this doesn't really represent stress. It should be the other way around. It should be a frown image. But yeah, I think this is better to have a smiley. Okay, so yeah, this is done. And if I fire up the simulator now, we might be able to select those widgets there. Okay, so let's try that. Facemaker is creating all the necessary images, and now we have more because we had all those image sets. Okay, so right now we have heart rate, and here we have battery. Oh, and by the way, I believe I forgot to set the default one for the right option, and indeed I did. So let's set it as battery. Okay, now let's go back into the simulator here. There we go. And I don't know why Blanca is moving so fast. I have to check the frame delay. But first I want to see if we can change this. So trigger app settings, let's go into the menu. Heroes, villains, left option and right option. So on the left, I want steps now. Okay, and on the right, I want stress. Let's go back, and there we go. Now we have steps on the left and stress on the right. So if you want to test the steps, you can go here and select set activity monitor info. And here I'm going to change the steps to something like 2500. And if you notice, the step goal is 5000. So here this bar will have to move up onto the center. So let's apply. Hello? Well, this is weird. It's not moving at all. Let me just check everything here. So the steps are here. And yeah, we have a working image. Oh, I see what's happening. The activity monitoring must be switched off on the simulator. So let's wait. And I could have fixed the Blanca animation already, but yeah, we'll try to do it now, or later, I mean. Okay, so let's check activity tracking. There we go. If we enable it, and then we go and change the steps. So let's set to 2500 and press apply. And there we go. Now it's working, okay? And you can also set the stress level. So let's increase it all the way to 100 and press apply. There we go. Now you can see that this is working, and we can select which widget we want to be here, okay? So yeah, I think this is getting along or going quite nicely. I would say. Okay, so this is done now, and now I want to put that image there usually is above the status bar. So an image for Blanca, for the Zangief, for Ken and Ryu. Okay, so I'm gonna search, start searching for images for Blanca. And we need one that looks like him and that we can use as a thumbnail or something. So yeah, this one looks cool. I will use this one. So copy image. You know, this will be a small detail, but yeah. Oh, it's not here. We need to put it here. So that way, when Blanca is selected, the image will change here, okay? So now let's add an image and paste that image we copied from the internet. And this is, of course, huge. I need to first scale it. And it's not bad, but now we need to crop it. So let's apply, or rather, let's apply the scaling first. And then I will apply a crop effect. And what the crop effect does is it allows you to remove unwanted sections or parts of the image. So here we'll start scaling this, and we want to make it square, okay? So this has to be the same width and height. So right now 72 and 72. And now we can move this, okay, and try to make it the best we can. Something like that, and then press submit. And the image is cropped, and I will apply this, okay? So now we need to find the right size to put it up here. I'm gonna just drag it up and place it there, and then I will scale it. And as I said, this is it's a very small detail, but as they usually say, the devil is in the details, right? So here I will apply the scale, and you can see that this looks very, very pixelated, but it doesn't matter. It's just one more element to make this look better, okay? So let's go with 40, 40, 40, and 40. And let me just check the size. It's 43, okay. And yeah, it looks good. So I will lock it for now, and then I will give it a border. And yes. Yeah, I think it looks cool. So now if we change to Zangief, right here, you'll see it doesn't have an image, but we're gonna fix that. So image, and let's search for Zangief. And let's choose an image. Well, this one is not bad. Maybe this one. Yeah, let's go with this one. So copy image. It doesn't matter. This is such a small detail that I don't think it's that important. But yeah, we have to be perfectionists, right? So here I am going to apply this scale, and then I will add a crop effect. And if I recall correctly, the image has to be 43 by 43, but the important part here is to select a square image, okay? This has to be square. So the width, let's make the height smaller until we have 63. There we go. And now we just need to, and yeah, this looks cool. Let's apply, and we shall now resize this to 43, I think. No, 45. Okay, so 45, and apply the scaling, and finally add a rounded corners effect, and go, I believe it was 40. And I really have to add an option here on this effect that will allow you to move all of them at the same time. But yeah, in the meanwhile, we have to select each and every one of them right there. And let me see just the position. So 71, 63, 71 and 63. Oh, but it can be. Well, but it is. I'm not quite sure what is happening here, but I'm gonna push it up right there, and now it should be, yeah, it's perfect. Okay, so now let's do the same for Ryu and Ken. Let's go into the arrows, and here Ryu, let's add an image, and let's see if we can find a good image. And we have several. I think I will go with this one, okay? Oh, but this one is transparent. Well, we can use it anyway, but I think I'll go with this one instead. So copy image. And then here I will paste it. There we go. And then apply, as before, a crop effect. And I'll go and select 90 by 90, and we might make this just a little bit larger. 106. Okay, so yeah, something like that, and I will submit. Okay, so this is done. I can apply, and then we have to resize it, so it's 45. And apply the scaling. It will look like crap, but yeah. Rounded corners. And go with 40. There we go. And you know, this can be a little bit tedious, I know, but it can also be fun. 40. And finally, the border. And there we go. We have a completed image, and I'll put it here. And finally, Ken. Okay, so here I'll add an image. There we go. And here I will have to search for Ken Street Fighter, because otherwise we'll start getting results with the Ken from Barbie, I guess. So let me see here, perhaps this one. No, it's in a happy mood. I think we need another image that makes him look menacing. Well, there aren't many, I think. Okay, let's search just a little bit more. And you know, I could have had all those images prepared for this video, but I decided I would search for them during the recording of the video, just so you see all the process, okay? So this one, for example. Well, it's not perfect, but... and not this one. Okay, let's go with this one. Let's not waste any more time. So copy image, because I think you get the idea, right, of how it works. So here, let's resize this to 50 and apply the scaling, and then I will add a crop effect right there. We'll select. And just a little bit less on the height, and 131. And now we can simply try to center his head and press submit. And now this is done. I will resize it to 45. There we go. And apply the scaling, and then I will have the rounded corners. and go with 40 right there, and right there, and right there, and finally the bottom left corner, and the border. And there we go. So I'll put this more or less in the same spot. And now if we change the view, we have that image. And if we change the Blanca or Zangief, we have different images for each one of them, okay? So yeah, I think we're done with this. Now I wanted to add a image that appears initially saying fight, okay? So I'm gonna add an image here, and I'm sorry, my mouse is getting crazy. I'm gonna add no, not an image. I need, now let me see here. I'm gonna add an animation, okay? And then an image. Okay, so if you notice, here we have a tab called Animations. Now, believe it or not, you can create animations for any image widget you have, okay? And I'm gonna show you just that in a minute. But first, we need to find a fight logo Street Fighter. There we go. Okay, now I need to find, I mean, it would be perfect if it was transparent, but this one is not, as you can see here, okay? Perhaps this one, no. This is not transparent. Well, I believe I will have to go with this one. Perhaps, or let me see here. If we can find one that is transparent. I don't think so. I don't think we will find one, but now this one is perfect here, okay? I'm gonna pick this one, so copy image, and then here I will paste it. So Control V. And of course, as before, this is huge. Now I need to remove everything that is white, and for that you can have the color to alpha effect, and then crank up the threshold right there, okay? And the white is gone. So now we need to crop the content, and we need to scale it. So let's go with 200, and this is way too small, so I am going to scale it up. And I wanted to, you know, kind of hide the fighters at first. So I am going to try, and yeah, this is centered now, and completely centered on the screen. And yeah, I think I will apply this. And now we need to create that animation that you see on the start. It comes from here, the center, and it grows until it stays like this, and then it disappears and they start fighting. So here I'm going into the animations tab, and I'm going to add a new step. So this is the initial state, and this is how it will show when it starts, okay, basically. So we need to enable the scaling, and this will be 0. Right there and right there. And now we had a new step, this one here, this action, and we need to scale it up to 100%. And right now it's taking 1 second to, as you can see there. And this is too much. I'll go with 300. Okay. I think it's not that fast now, is it? Now let me see here. We have a duration of 300 milliseconds. I might make this 500. So half a second. Nope. 400. I'll go with 350. And yes. Okay, so the animation is done. The problem is this is not an animation. So if you exported this, Facemaker would tell you that you have an image with animations done here on this tab, and that you have to convert them first. Now, to convert a set of actions into a real animation, you need to press this button here, Convert to Animation. Now let's press it. And yes, this can take a while, so depending on the size of the animation, it can really take a while. This one will be fast because we only have a few frames to render. And we're done. Okay, and now as you can see, we have the animation. We created this. Okay, so now I need to make it work. Okay, and the first thing is we need it to go all the way until the end of the animation and then disappear. So we will clone this frame here, and then we will put it in the end. So in the end, it will show nothing. Now we need the fight, this part here, to remain on the screen for at least, I don't know, half a second. So I will clone this. Clone, and clone, and clone, and clone. And now I will submit. And now let's press play. And as you can see here, we have just one cycle. So this will play once and it will stop. Here I'm gonna set this to, I don't know, maybe 50 and press play. It's disappearing too fast. I might make this 100 and it's still disappearing too fast. So we just need to clone to have some more of these frames so it will remain a little longer. So submit and press play. Well, I don't know why, but we had an invisible frame on the end that somehow disappeared. So we have to, replicate it again, put it on the end and press submit. And now let's see. Now it's taking too long to disappear. Okay. This is you have to experiment. Delete and submit. And yes, I believe this is almost perfect, I would say. So yeah, now we have a watch face without data. So all we have here is animations and nothing more. We need to start adding some data. So the first thing will be time, digital dial, and here I will add hours, an image combo, and let me just lock all the layers, and here I will press generate and put it up here. So yeah, I'm not going to use this font, but let me see here. We need a thinner one, perhaps this one, or rather not. I'm going with that one, or rather this one. I like this one. Okay, and put it there. And I think I will go with an orange color, this one here. And then the minutes, so minutes and image combo, generate, and place it there. And now the seconds, and the seconds will go on this space here. Okay, so seconds, image combo, press generate, and for this one we need a different font. So I think that this one will suit it better. Let me see here. Let's zoom in and place it. And this is perhaps too large, so we'll scale it down and put it there. And we will lock this and press preview. And there we go. Now I think I can make these, put these here closer. I will enable the guidelines just so we have our lives made a little bit easier. Okay, so here this is done. I'm going to add an artistic text, and I will insert those two dots and put them here. And voila, we have time. Well, I don't like the position of the hours. I think we have to push them just a little bit to the left, just like that, and press preview. And yes, now it looks cool. Okay, so yeah, now we need to address the lower part. So I think I'll put weather down here, and I think I did it on the first one I created. So here, the image, I'm going to press generate and make it a circle by giving it enough sides. Now I can scale it right there, and something like this perhaps. Need it to be large enough. Now this is not going to be orange, of course. The first thing I want to do is add a fill color and make it black right there. And then I will clone this widget and make it smaller just so we can have it here centered inside. Now this one here, instead of the fill color, I'm going to remove this and I'll add a fill texture. So there we go. And I am going to load that wood plank wall right there. And let's make this larger. So the width will go all the way to 100 or perhaps 150. And yes. Okay. Now I think I will also add a contrast. Now this will make it just a tad darker, or rather not. I need to add a brightness first. Right there, and then increase the contrast. And yeah, as I said, this the color of these wooden planks are not really ideal for this, but I think this is working nicely, so yeah, I'll use it. Okay, so now we go into this one, and I'm going to apply the scale and then apply the color effect and then add a bevel effect. So what this does, you can see here, it's adding a bevel effect. We don't need the X coordinate, so I'll make it 0 right there. And now I need to make it look like it's indented. Okay, it's cutting the wood. So all we need for that is to invert the shadow and the highlight. So let's make this one and this -1. And there we go. So this is a, you know, almost unnoticeable effect. You can't really tell it's there, but I don't care. Okay, so this is done, and we can now add, let me see, I think I will go with weather right there. Okay, so let's add a environment weather. There we go. So here I will go with weather 16 images just because I can. Now I'm gonna press generate, and I'll put the weather icons down here and increase the image size right there. And now let's scroll over the icons, and as you can see, it's too large. Let's center this and try all the other, and I think we have a winner. So yeah, this will be the weather, and I will unlock it and press crop the content because I want to optimize this and see what's the size, the biggest one. So 59 by 57, and this one here, this is the no data image, and I think I will replace it with a Street Fighter logo. So when there's no data, no weather data, we will have Street Fighter there. Okay, so oh, we have one here. That's great. So I'm gonna copy the image, and as usual here I will add an image and paste the logo. There we go. Now this is huge, of course, and first I will crop the content. And now, if I remember correctly, 59 by 57. So we need to make this 59 by 57. So the first thing, I will scale it 59. Okay, so this is the width of this image now is correct, but not the height. It has to be 57. So first I will apply the scaling, and then here I will add a crop effect, and I will increase the height to 57. But now we want to center this image, and for that we can make this negative. So you can do it here, but you can insert it manually here. I have to change this, by the way, and allow negative values, but for now you have to insert it manually. So we'll go with minus 15, perhaps minus 14, and there we go. And now I can apply this, and we have this image. So now I will copy it. So over this image here, I will press Ctrl C, and then I'll select the weather. And remember that you have to have the desired frame shown here in order to replace it. Okay, so now this one is selected, and I will press Ctrl V, and there we go. So now we can delete this image here, and when there's no weather data, we'll have the Street Fighter logo, which I think is a good detail. And there we go. Okay, so now we have an almost complete watch face. And for this one, I'm not going to create an AOD, okay? That would take too long. But instead, we can try to optimize it. So the first thing is this. We have to merge all these images. So add, and all the way up to the first image. And as you can see here, we have the background all merged, and we can crop the content, make it a sphere. It's not needed, it was a sphere already, but just to make sure. And yeah, this watch face is complete. If I press preview, and as I said, I won't be going into details on how to, create an AOD from this. Or, I mean, I think it wouldn't hurt to make a quick AOD, okay? So I'll do it. Here on the background, I'll add an image, and I will copy that Street Fighter logo. So copy image, and then I'll paste it here and put it here, right there. And I think there is a Street Fighter font. So let me search for it. So Street Fighter font. Street Fighter font. No, not this one. Street Fighter. Capcom. Okay. This is it. So it's suggesting brutal. What the hell? I pressed allow, but it's not opening. Well, yeah, I'm going to search somewhere else. So perhaps this one, yeah. And Street Fighter font. Okay, so now we can go here. Oh, by the way, we need to download Street Fighter and place it here. And I will unzip it. So extract it, and then we can go into the preferences, and I am going to import that font. So import font, and here we should have the font, the act of rejection. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so now I'll add a widget and digital dial hours image combo and press generate. Now we should have that imported font down here, which is the act of rejection. There we go. And now I will increase the size. And you know, this logo might be too large, so I'll make it smaller, put it there, and now we can have larger images. And I think I will create a specific, yeah, I will create a gradient here. So the bottom color, the top color, and in the middle we must have this yellow. Okay, so and there we go. Okay, yeah, now let's have the minutes, this one here, and press generate. And since Facemaker remembers our lost settings, you will have the same gradient and the same font with the same size. And finally, I will add an artistic text and add those two dots. And there we go. And yes, okay. Now I think I can put it here and then merge these two. There we go. This way we only have one image, and crop the content just to optimize it. And okay, let's see how it looks on the simulator. And I think I have to fix that Blanca animation because it was moving too fast. We'll see. Oh, as you can see, 3 animations is just too much for it to handle, okay? And this is only showing 2 because right now I think I have 12 hour. If I put 24, you can see there. So to have the 2 on this side, on the right, yeah, it became too much for it to handle, or so it seems. Oh, now it's moving faster. I'm not quite sure why, but I think the watch, you know, managed to to render them after all. Let me see here. Why is Blanca moving so fast? So this is 100. Well, I'm not sure. Because it should be using this delay. Well, I'll try it again. But I believe the problem is we have 3 animations at the same time. And the watch struggles to render them, but you should, get away with 1 or 2. As you've seen by the test that I made before, when I had only 2 fighters. So there we go. It will show fight. Fight will disappear and they will, remain moving. Now I want to trigger the app settings. Press menu and go into the villains and select Zangief. And here on the heroes, I will select Rhea. And perhaps change the left option to be steps. And the right option to be stress. And now if we go back, there we go. We have Zangief, we have Rhea, we have steps up here, and we have stress, okay? And that's it. This is animations for Garmin. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I also hope that you come back to watch more videos on the Facemaker YouTube channel. So don't forget to subscribe in order to receive all the latest news on the Facemaker development. Okay, so thank you very much again, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.